Hi, my name is Willie Morgan, and I interviewed Manuel Enrique Valdez II. He comes from a family of six. His parents, his mother, Lucia Valdez, his father, who was also Manuel Enrique Valdez, and he has two younger sisters and one younger brother. He has his older sister is named Esperanza Valdez. His second sister is named Maria Valdez, and his younger brother is named Pablo Valdez. His sister, his oldest younger sister, she is 36. Enrique himself is 46 right now. His second sister is 30, and his younger brother is 20, 23, actually. And they are from all born and raised in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. They lived in a two-bedroom house with his mother and father sharing their own room, while Manuel's three siblings sharing a room together, and Manuel, because him being the oldest, he slept in the living room with his bed, so that was his room to himself. And then they moved to they moved to America when Manuel was 22 years old. He did go to school, but the the schools out there were, I don't know, it was kind of a tricky system, like with going like, it's not like America, like elementary, middle school, then high school. It was kind of tricky out there. So they had some schools where it was all grades going to one school. So it was kind of tricky for him. But when he came to America, he just started off at like a community college, like similar to LMC. He he went to DVC when he first moved out here. Yeah, when he was 22. But he didn't start going right away. He kind of got more familiar with being with America and trying to learn English. He knew some English in Mexico, but when he came to America, he had to get more fluent in it, and then started attending DVC for a while. And when he started going to DVC, he took really just general ed classes like English and math and things like that. He didn't really have a goal for a major. And before he moved to America, when he lived in Mexico, his childhood was just really just being with his siblings a lot and his family a lot. He didn't really have friends. His sport was actually baseball. Surprisingly, I was surprised from it. It was baseball. And he told me how he always walked around with a baseball bat and a baseball. Sometimes him and his brother, well, actually, no, not him and his brother, him and his sister, because his brother was too young. His sister would just throw him up the balls and he would just hit them everywhere. But he didn't let them hit. He was kind of stingy with the baseball bat because he liked hitting baseball bat. I mean, the baseball with the bat. He watched American baseball, Major League Baseball, when he was younger a lot. And he wasn't really interested in any other sport. He was very fascinated by American baseball, but he could never have the chance to play baseball in America because he came to America at such an old age, 22. That's way past everything. I'm only 19. But his whole family came to America. Well, just him, his parents and his siblings came to America because his other family members, like aunts and uncles, and not really cousins, but his aunts and uncles and his grandparents, his whole life they were dying and stuff because they were getting sicknesses from from Mexico, and they didn't have the right cure. Well, they couldn't get the right medical attention to get cured for them because they didn't have really a lot of money for anything. And he kind of confused me on how the medical coverage out there worked. And they started passing away a lot. So then him and his siblings and his parents, they moved and came to America, and they wanted to get away from that. They didn't want to see that, and they didn't want to get sick and start dying as well. But his cousins and everything, they all still stayed out there. They didn't want to leave their home. So then when they came to America, they became American citizens 5 years later when they came to America. So after they came to America, a year after they became American citizens, which would make Manuel 28, he met his girlfriend, who was also named Maria, just like his sister. Her name is Maria Espinoza, and she was from Cancun, Mexico. She came to America when she was a little girl, but that's so much it for her because she didn't really want to get interviewed or asked any questions. So then, every holiday, every Christmas, his whole family, everyone in the family would write a letter. No, they would create gifts for each person in the family, like far as the siblings and parents. So each person did it. That's how they celebrated their Christmas, and they really wanted to stick together because they knew that they were all they had left. But for Thanksgiving was when they wrote letters to each other, to each person, to tell them how thankful they are for them and how much they love them. And they did that because they didn't want to lose each other because of all the family that died in Mexico, and they knew that's all they had left. So they really valued each other a lot, and they really didn't do too much with other holidays. Halloween, they like threw little family parties within each other, like no inviting anyone else or other friends or anything. They just kept it within each other, and they really just showed each other how much they loved each other a lot and cared for each other. Like they were very generous with each other. So they didn't really celebrate any other holiday, and that's pretty much it. Like they just lived their life working. When they came to America, they weren't too much interested in school. Everyone else, I mean, but Manuel was. He didn't tell me much about his siblings a lot, but I guess they're starting their own lives too with each other, creating families and still sticking within each other, just being together. Yeah, and yeah, that's pretty much it. What I got out of Manuel. Yeah.